Good morning everyone. I am Dr. Anshul Sharma, lecturer for Botany in Anshul PG College, Falna. In the last class, we have discussed about the basic structure of a flower, and today we will continue this topic. We will start today with the types of flowering plants. The flowering plants are divided into two major categories, which are determinate and indeterminate type of flowering plants. What are the details of these two categories? So we can say that determinate type of flowering plants are those in which the flowering takes place only once in their lifetime, and during the flowering season their vegetative growth stops or ceases. Many examples can be quoted for this category, like grasses, small grains, corns, etc. Another category is indeterminate type of flowering plants. They are those type of flowering plants in which the flowering takes place many times in their lifetime, and during this flowering season their vegetative growth continues, that is, it doesn't stop. Examples can be beans, cotton, petunia, etc. Now we will discuss or continue with the previous topic also, that is the flower structure. So in the last class we have seen that a flower is divided into four major parts, or we can say that a flower have four whorls. या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि कोई भी पुष्प चार चक्रों में विभाजित होता है. What are these four whorls? These four whorls are majorly divided into two major categories. First is structural or vegetative part. Another is reproductive part. The structural or vegetative part is divided into two major categories or two major parts. First is sepals. Another category is petals. What are the sepals? Sepals are small, green and leaf-like structure which are present just outside the flower or a flower bud. It makes the outermost whorl of a flower, and they are majorly green in color. But if in some flowers the sepals are colored, then the sepals are termed as petaloid. The group of sepals is termed as calyx. This calyx is divided into two major categories. First category is polycephalous condition. Another category is gamocephalous condition. In the polycephalous condition, the sepals are separated, or we can say that all the sepals in a calyx whorl are separate. In a gamocephalous condition, we can say that all the sepals are fused or united. So it makes the calyx a single structure because all the sepals are united. So we can see or say that the calyx have only single sepal. This condition is termed as gamocephalous condition. One thing more, sepals are also divided into two major categories. First category is deciduous condition. Another category is caducous condition. In a deciduous condition, the sepals get separated or gets dried off from the flower after the fertilization gets completed. This condition is called as deciduous condition. Another condition is caducous condition, in which the sepals get separates or dried off even when the flower is not opened or blossomed. This category is termed as caudogus condition. Now moving further, we will discuss about the petals or the second rule after sepals. Petals are generally present above or inside the sepals. These petals are generally bright colored and scented structures, and they are meant for or developed for the pollination purpose, or we can say that they attract the pollinators. These pollinators can be insects, bats, animals, birds, humans, etc. These all are pollinators for the flowering plants. And the group of the petal is termed as corolla. Another category or another structure which develops in some flower is termed as parent. What is this parent? This parent is nothing but when a calyx and corolla get fused, it makes another new structure which is termed as parent. So it is not a separate structure, it is only the fusion product of calyx and corolla. Now we discuss about the reproductive part of flower. Reproductive parts can be divided into generally two major categories. First is stamen and another structure is pistil. We will discuss these two structures one by one. A stamen is generally termed as the male reproductive part. It is also termed as androecium, which is represented as capital A. And the numbers are generally 3 or more per flower. This stamen structure consists two major parts. First part is anther, which is the topmost part of any stamen, and another part is filament. Filament is the lower part of a stamen which carries the anther structure. This anther is nothing but a sac-like structure or a bag-like structure which contains or produces or stores pollens. These pollens are male reproductive structures or male gametes or male sex cells. Now, what is this filament? Filament is generally a slender thread-like structure which supports this anther, or it is a stalk-like structure which carries anther on its topmost part. This is the discussion about the stamen or the male reproductive structure. Now we will discuss the pistil, which is termed as the female reproductive part of a flower. It is termed as gynoecium and represented as capital G. The number of gynoecium may be more than 1 per flower. These gynoecium contains another structure which is termed as carpels, and the number of carpel may be single or multiple. This pistil contains 3 parts. First part is stigma, second part is style, and third part is ovary. Stigma is majorly the topmost part. It is the topmost part of gynoecium or pistil, and it is the receptive and sticky part which receives the pollens which comes from the anthers. Second part, which is called as style, is a long tube-like structure which connects the stigma to the ovary. and the function of this style is only to facilitate the process of reproduction or fertilization. Third basic part of this pistil is ovary, and this ovary is a ductless reproductive gland which contains many ovules, and these ovules after fertilization develops into seed, and this ovary gets converted into fruit. We can see in this diagram that this ovary contains many ovules, and these ovules are female sex cells or female reproductive cells. So this is the discussion about the flower structure or the four whorls of any flower. Now, moving further on this topic, we discussed that any flower is divided into three major types, and the basis of making these types can be number of flower on a single stalk, flower parts, and sexual expression. So we will discuss these three categories of flowering plants one by one. Firstly, we will discuss the types of flowers on the basis of number of flowers on a single stalk. So the types of flower on the basis of number of flowers on single stalk is divided into two major types. First is simple flower, another is compound flower. What is the simple flower? Simple flower is those type of flowers which develops singly on a stalk, or we can say that they are separate flowers or solitary flowers. Separate means they doesn't grow or develop in a group. Another category is compound flower. These flowers develops in a group or in multiples or in clusters, which is termed as inflorescence. So, moving further, we will discuss about the type of flowers on the basis of flower parts. On this basis, the type of flower is of two types. First is complete flower, another one is incomplete flower. A complete flower is that type of flower which contains all these four whorls, that is, the sepals, the petals, the pistils, and the stamens. And mostly all the dicot plants consist of complete type of flowers. Another category is incomplete type of flowers. These are those type of flowers in which one or more than one whorl is absent. Many monocot plants contains this incomplete type of flower. Now, another type of flower is also present, which is develops on the basis of sexual expression. On the basis of sexual expression, flower may be of two types. First type is perfect type of flower, and another category is imperfect type of flower. Any perfect type of flower is also termed as hermaphroditic type of flower. It means that a flower contains both the type of reproductive organs, that is the male reproductive organ, that is stamens, and the female reproductive organ, that is the pistils. That is, a flower or any flower which contains both pistil and stamen is termed as perfect flower. Another category is imperfect type of flower. These are those type of flowers which contains only stamen or pistil. So this category is termed as imperfect type of flower. So today we have discussed about the 4 rules and the types of flowers and flowering plants. We will discuss another topic in another video. Thank you.